Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 13th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now is your event chart, which provides some important clues of how things will unfold for you this week. Now the big picture is there's a lot of energy in the sign of Taurus. Taurus for you is house 4. This is how we feel. It's where we protect. It can be where we retreat. Certainly to do with our environment. It can be a love of peacefulness, tranquility, being near the sea or in the countryside, or it can be where we engage with the decorative side of where we live or home improvements. Can also be our close relationships in the family. And over the last 5 years, as your modern ruler Uranus has been shaking things up in this area, it hasn't necessarily all been easy going. But also your traditional ruler of Saturn over the last year has been applying its energies to your second house. This is how you feel about yourself in terms of your self-worth and value. But it can also be to do with income. There may have been some tightening up in that area. But right at the start of this week, Venus in your 4th house, which is wonderful if you want to make some decorative changes, that's in a very solid link to Saturn. So if you have worked hard on changing where you live or adapting things, and it has at times been quite stressful, I think it's important to take a breath and a moment to just think, look what I've got. And if it's not the tangible side of life that's so important to you, think about the very close, dependable relationships in your situation, because those can be the ones you need to treasure. But also, if you think about Mercury since the 10th of April has been buzzing through your 3rd house. It's an exciting area for Mercury to be. Mercury in the 3rd house evokes its more Gemini energies. So your quick wits, your ability to adapt and flex quickly has been enhanced, but we did have the retrograde from the 1st through to the 25th of April. If you did find some tech was unreliable, or you made some adaptations to your domestic appliances, you reset in some way or another, or improved. If you've got your own blog or website, or you changed your phone, any kind of upgrade around telephony, certainly to the 4, all to do with Mercury and possibly the retrograde. But of course retrogrades do cause crosswires as well. And as this week begins, Mercury returns to the exact degree when the retrograde began on the 1st of April. So if there have been some things that have been challenging, as well as the opportunities, you can take a sigh of relief because they should all fall into place now. But also, Mercury is going to be moving on Wednesday to join up with the cluster of energy, the posse in Taurus. So that Taurus energy, very much about how we feel about things, how we connect or don't connect to our family. It could be to do with our extended family with Uranus in the mix, because that's a bit more of a modern construct, that we build our alliances up with people who really understand us, not necessarily blood relatives. And so the Sun connects to Uranus on Monday. And if Uranus has been an unsettling influence for you over the last 5 years or so, the good news is the Sun brings a sense of purpose or reason to the situation, but equally it could provoke you, this combination, to change things up. A lot of Aquarius people love space, and if your house has become suddenly a little bit too cluttered with all your favourite things, do you think that emptying it out somewhat, recycling stuff, giving stuff away to a charity, would create more air, which you thrive on, air in your home? I think that combination makes sense. Also, there could be a surprise communique from someone within your family, someone you're not expecting. Then Mercury moves but clashes with Pluto in your sign. It may be that someone that you're close to, and it could be that person who gets in touch, somehow feels that they have some rights in terms of how they connect to you, that you feel in some ways demonstrates an attitude, maybe to do with having power, and it's not something that you appreciate, and you may push back against that. You can be very rebellious, and rightly so. But also on Wednesday there's a quarter moon in the sign that's opposite to you of Leo. And relationships, be it romantic or any other, can also be affected by that emotional dimension. I think we all need to feel listened to. There's a lot of people who do a lot of talking these days, and a lot of people have very strident opinions. Is there actually so much dialogue? So I think that quarter moon asks you to think about what you want to say, but also be available to hear what other people want to say to you. But then Venus moves forwards, connects to Uranus. That need to declutter could certainly be enhanced by that, but it also may be that there's a sudden connection with someone, maybe an introduction through a family member who you really connect to. It could be romantic, but not necessarily. Perhaps you're going to see something for your home that suddenly really intrigues you. I saw a grand baby piano on that certain trading platform the other day, and oh my word, absolutely stunning. I'd love to get that, but it didn't quite happen at the moment. But that kind of opportunity that comes up very suddenly could be something that tempts you at the heart of this week. But then, as the week goes on, the sun connects to Jupiter. And this is one of astrology's most heartening, heartwarming and uplifting aspects. What happens is the sun moves to meet with Jupiter. That creates what's known as a cazimi. It only happens once a year, and this particular conjunction could help you to just see your emotional situation, your family ties, in a bit more benevolent way. If there's someone who has disappointed you, you may be able to let it go. If there's someone that you feel needs your support, you could be extremely kindly. If you're wanting to buy or rent a property, the ideal home and abode could develop for you at this time. This is the combination of fortune. Really can be lucky. In traditional astrology, Jupiter, the greater benefit. Venus, the lesser benefit in your fourth house. So generally your emotional sphere, your home sphere, this could be a part of your situation which makes a lot more sense this week, which can expand and grow in a positive and dynamic way for you. Thank you so much for having joined me. Have a great week, and do remember to check out that special offer on my personal horoscope reports for your tropical or your draconic 30% off. Please see the link below, and if to support the channel, please subscribe and do click or tap that bell notification symbol. Thank you.